Hi BookTube, it's Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to bring you part one of my most recent library loot. As you guys know, I am a huge fan of using my local library. I work at a library. I am a big user of the hold system and a believer in free books to read. So I actually have a huge library loot to share with you guys. So I'm going to do part one today, which is novels, like actual novels. And then in a couple of days later on this week, I'll have part two up, which is graphic novels. A huge pile of graphic novels came in that I had on hold. So super excited to show you guys both sides of my library loot. So let's get started. First up is the book that I'm currently about halfway through, and it is Blameless by Gail Carriger. This is the third book in the Parasol Protectorate, the story of Alexis Terabody, a soulless in a steampunk Victorian London, with vampires and werewolves and ghosts and her adventures. She is currently traveling with Madame LeFou through Nice, and then they are on their way to Italy. Alexia is Italian, and so this book is absolutely adorable, absolutely hilarious. I am in love with Lord Akeldama. I'm actually really upset that he seems to kind of be not as present in this book as he's been in some of the past books. That's not like a spoiler or anything. So I'm hoping he comes back. But I love this series. I heard about this series over at Lindsay Ray. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll have heard me talk about these books. I've been like power reading my way through them this month. I have number 4 and number 5 all ready to go. So I am really, really excited to finish up this one. Next up on the list, I have a bunch of sci-fi, so just prepare yourself. Terry Pratchett, The Color of Magic, the first official book in the Discworld series, or at least where I've been recommended to start with the Discworld series. I've never read any Terry Pratchett, and unfortunately he passed away recently. I've heard this book is hilarious, and it kind of starts you off in Discworld with a bang, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. It's not very big, unlike some of the other books I have coming up, so I'm really hoping I can kind of get through this one soon. Next up, I did not know these books were this big when I put them all on hold. So they all came in at once, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of book. And so first up is The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This is a fantasy series, the first book in a fantasy series I've seen floating around on YouTube recently. I've heard really good things about it. I'm excited to get started. All I know is that it has something to do with like color and color magic, and that's really all I know. I've seen it on Sam's channel and Lindsay's channel, and I believe Sana's channel sometime in the near past. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to get going on that one. It's a chunker, but it's next up on my list as soon as I finish number 3 in the Parasol Protectorate, just because I kind of want to take a break and don't want to power through those like too quickly. All right. After that, I have Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the first in the Rhaeria Revelation series. I've seen everybody reading the first in the Rhaeria Chronicles series, which is actually like a prequel to this, but I've also heard it said that you want to make sure that you start with this one. So that's what I'm going to do. It is actually a bind-up of 2 previously self-published novels. That's really all I know about it. Again, I've seen it on, a lot of my major YouTube kind of watchers channels, the names you guys hear all the time. It's another big one, so I'm not entirely sure where it's going to fall in the reading order coming up, but I'm excited to get to it, and I'm excited to have another series to get started on. After that is Inda by Sherwood Smith. This is... I am very, very late, so I'm not like technically fully participating in Sam's hashtag Into Club read along, but she talks about it all the time on her channel, and I should know better than to not trust Sam, whose channel I will link below. So I'm finally going to get into it. This is the first one. The next one is The Fox. I actually already have that one on hold at work also, but I haven't picked it up yet because I haven't finished this one yet, and I don't want to go too crazy. Like there's only so much weight my arms can hold at a single time, and it's also a pretty big fantasy book, but I am looking forward to starting that one and kind of getting caught up on the read along. Then I have The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I'm really excited to read this one because this is fantasy set in a non-urban setting. I don't think that I've hauled this one before, but I think I talked about it in one of my TBRs. So I am officially like library looting it, hauling it, if you will. The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I've heard really good things about this author, and I'm still looking to add more and more diversity to my reading list wherever I can. So if I can do that in the world of fantasy, then so much the better. After that, this is another one I know for sure that you guys saw in my TBR, and it's The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison. I'm reading this one because it is nominated for the Hugo Award Best Novel, and it's not part of the Sad Puppy slate or the Rabid Puppy slate, both of which I'm kind of avoiding. If you don't know what that is, I'll let you Google it. There's a whole internet world of information out there. I spent a good day, like solid day at work, just kind of looking through it and getting caught up on it. Because I was doing some book displays on the Hugo Awards. But anyway, this is about a goblin son who's like the 10th in line until something tragic happens to his family and he suddenly becomes the Goblin Emperor. That's not a spoiler, it's on the front flap. But it's just about him learning to navigate in the like courtly world and go through trials and tribulations as like learning to be in a role that he never thought he'd be in. And I'm really looking forward to it. If it's nominated for a Hugo, it's got to be good. Next up, I have a YA novel by Tommy Wallet called We All Looked Up. This is a book about the end of the world. It's about a group of teens who find out that the end of the world is coming and what happens to them as they kind of go through their lives towards the end of the world. That's all I know about it. I've seen it on the Hub. I saw it on Stacked. I've seen it on Book Riot's YA columns. The Hub and Stacked are like YA or like young adult librarianship blogs that talk about books and do book reviews and author interviews and stuff. So I've seen this floating around in a bunch of places. I put it on hold the minute I heard about it just because it sounds really, really good. The author actually wrote like a CD or like produced a CD that goes along with it. So I'm still on the hunt for that, but I am excited in the meantime to get to the book. After that, we have The Architects Apprentice by Alif Shafak. This is, Alif Shafak. Sorry. This is I am absolutely losing my mind. Alif Shafak is a woman. She actually has been an architect, I believe. Nope, I'm absolutely losing my mind. I have no idea what I'm talking about. She is a best-selling novelist, a champion of women's rights, and the most widely read female writer in Turkey. So there you go. But she has done a TED Talk before that I've watched and really, really enjoyed on the architecture of story and kind of the universality of story. I am not speaking very eloquently about this. Beautiful cover, very well recommended. Saw it on Book Riot. Excited to get to it. Set in Istanbul. Still looking to get to more global reading. I'm going to stop putting together really bad sentences about this book and just move on. And lastly is a nonfiction title, and it is Beyond Belief, The Secret Life Inside Scientology and My Harrowing Escape by Jenna Miscavige Hill. I recently watched, or my husband and, oh my God, I just shut myself in the face with the book. Oh, this is just not my morning, is it? All right. My husband and I recently watched Beyond Belief, Inside Scientology in Hollywood, the documentary based on the nonfiction book from last year. And I was so disturbingly fascinated by Scientology and just how absolutely batshit crazy that is. I had to get all the books that I could on it. This is about Jenna Miscavige, who's actually raised in the Scientologist faith and in kind of the church of Scientology, and her family was, but she realized that it wasn't the place for her and she broke free. So it's about that struggle. I have kind of a sweet spot for books like this. I really liked Escape by Carolyn Jessup, which is about Carolyn Jessup's escape from the FLDS, the like fundamentalist sect of the Mormon faith that does polygamy and usually has the compounds and is known by like Warren Jeff's name and stuff. All about that. So I have kind of a soft spot for women escaping from crazy religions, but I'm really, really excited to get to this. It's also quite thick, and because it's nonfiction, I'm actually also on the hunt to see if I can find this on audiobook, but so far, no luck. That is all of the fiction novels that I have from this week's Library Loot. Like I said, I will be back in a couple of days with a graphic novel haul. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know which one I should start with or which one should be next kind of on the roster. Let me know if I should skip any of them. If they're not worth reading, just let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys around the internet. Bye.